Hello, I'm Adam Barralet and welcome to this Crystal Connections video where we're exploring 5 of my favourite crystals to work with on a blue moon. Now first of all, you may be wondering, what on earth is a blue moon? Well, I can tell you it's definitely not when the moon turns blue. The term actually comes from a 16th century term and it's very similar to people saying, oh, when pigs fly. In other words, this is a highly unlikely event. And so people go, oh, well, that will happen when the moon turns blue. But it has kind of evolved to this day and age to mean when we have a second moon in the month. Now, as we know, there are 28 days in a lunar cycle from one full moon to the next. So it's rather unlikely to get two in the same month. But occasionally it happens, and this is seen as a rather auspicious event. Now, normally we can look at each moon and it is represented by either the star sign that it's in or the zodiac sign that it's in, or the month is associated with different seasonal aspects of the year. This one is, of course, a bit of a bonus moon, and so we can do whatever we want with it. So, I want to talk about different crystals that are really great to bring in this auspicious, magical energy and take advantage of this bonus moon that we get at random times throughout the year. You may get one in October one year, and then a few years later there may be one in April. But let's look in what crystals we can work with to take advantage of when they do arise. When there is a blue moon, I do bring some of my high vibration blue and indigo crystals out. And these are some of my absolute favorites. Now, of course, the full moon, any full moon, is a time when we should start to slow down and to put things into perspective. We often get a little bit crazy around full moons because we're living in this yang society where we're go, 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 while the lunar energy is shining upon us saying, slow down. Now, how do we make this kind of balance? Well, we can bring in a beautiful indigo crystal called Tanzanite. Now, Tanzanite is sometimes nicknamed as a workaholic stone because it helps us to slow down, to reevaluate what's important to us. When we are in this state of go, 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 go all the time, we can kind of run a little bit off track. We can forget about what's important to us. Maybe the connections with family, maybe nurturing ourselves, maybe getting out in nature. By working with Tanzanite, it will really help you to recommit and slow down and really embrace the lunar energy. Being a blue full moon, and this auspicious time, this is a really great time to stop, check in, and kind of make sure that you are giving the right energy to what's important to you. This is also a great time to practice a bit of gratitude. This will help you to slow down, to pause, to think about what's really important to you, and be grateful for the gifts that come into your life. When we are striving all the time and hoping to one day achieve goals, we can sometimes bypass achievements that we've made or great things that are already in our life. Working with Tanzanite can really help us to do this. Tanzanite as well is also a great intuition enhancer and one of the main ones I use when I'm doing readings for people or any kind of psychic or divinatory work. So by wearing this or meditating it on the third eye chakra can allow you to work with the full moon's energy when our intuition is enhanced and make a real great kind of take advantage of this time. Because this is an auspicious event, it's great to do that life check-in. And if you do have tarot cards, oracle cards, runes, do the I Ching, or any of those kind of divinatory practices, get them out on the blue full moon and kind of do a life check-in. Am I heading in the right direction? Is there anything I need to be aware of? And Tanzanite will give you the ability to slow down, listen to the messages that are gifted to you, either from the universe or from your cards or whatever divinatory technique you're using, and make sure that you can pivot your direction if need be. As we slow down and enjoy the full moon and connect with this blue moon energy and start to work with our intuition and finding out what's the truth in our lives and getting to the bottom of any issue that we have right now, we can use crystals to help us find more and more answers. This is where I love to work with the indigo aura quartzes. So my favorite one is Tanzan aura quartz. Now I find whenever I'm looking for answers or trying to find a way of how to bring something into my life and incorporate it in, this is absolutely amazing. When I wrote my first book, Crystal Connections, I knew what I wanted to say. I had all the notes, but I didn't know how to write a book. So I'd wear this, and what I found is it was all as though a white beam appeared above my head and like a rainfall of showers of words would come into my head and I'd just be off on my computer writing everything. The words would just flow. And I find this really gives me inspiration and ideas. Of course, the full moon is a time of creativity, and so this is great. We're having that blue energy, that intuitive energy as well, really helps you to find answers and work out what to do moving forward. If you're looking for some really deep, mystical answers, then there's another type of blue aura quartz called cobalt or a quartz, whereas this one is a combination of quartz with gold, indium and niobium. This is cobalt that's been fused on. You can see it's got this beautiful electric blue with some little tints of gold and purple from bit to bit. This really helps you dive into the mysteries. It also helps us listen to our emotions. It's got a very watery or emotional kind of aspect to it and can really help you to use your emotions as guidance as well. If you're finding during this blue full moon that you are getting a little bit kind of rocky and unhinged, this will help you to listen to what those messages are that your emotions are trying to tell you at this time, and so you can adjust your sails and go in the direction that you need to go. Another practice that I love to do during a blue full moon is I like to recommit a pledge or an oath to myself and to the universe, and especially to Mother Earth. What are you committed to? What are you going to offer the world? You know, we often talk about full moons and being a time when we ask, and we often, throughout the other full moons of the year, are sending out to the universe, may I please have, could we please do this, and that type of thing. Now, the blue full moon is a great time to actually pause and go, hold on, I'd like to offer something back in return for taking all the time. So one of my crystals that I love to work with when it comes to that oath, that you can really lock in an oath with, is Lapis Lazuli. Now this is going to serve you in lots of different ways. First of all, it is a stone of kings, gods and leaders. It's a combination of blue lazurite, gold pyrite and white calcite. The lazurite brings down the wisdom from the gods, from the heavens. The gold helps us understand it, and the white calcite clears away distractions. So we have this knowledge, we know what to do, and then we, as a king, as a god, as a leader, can then start to be a prominent person in our world and start to make changes with that wisdom. We each have a magical ability within us to make amazing changes in the world. You've seen lots of stories where people have come from nothing to change the world in really, really dramatic ways. Lapis Lazuli can really help you to do that. So grab your Lapis Lazuli, make a commitment to yourself and how you will be going forward, and also make a commitment maybe to the moon, to the universe, to the earth, to animals, whatever that may be. But this will really help and seal that pledge in to the crystal, and then when you feel that you're coming out of alignment with that pledge or that oath, come back to that crystal and recommit yourself once again. Have you heard of the crystal known as Azurite or Azurite? Now this is a crystal that was renowned in the past in ancient Egypt and even as far back as Atlantis to only be allowed to be used by priests and priestesses. Now, if you have been drawn to work with this crystal, that suggests that you do have massive work to do in the world. And with this auspicious blue moon, whenever it arises throughout the year, this is a really great time to realize your full potential and work out how you can step up. This is a great crystal to allow you to step up, to work your magic and do what you need to do in the world. Wearing it will help you to be brave, like a priest or a priestess, and it doesn't mean that you have to become a spiritual leader in a church or a spiritual group, but it means that you set an exemplary, amazing example of being a spiritually adjusted and helpful person in the world. You speak the truth, you seek truth, you work with unconditional love, you work with integrity, all those different things. This crystal will help you you can program it with your intentions, and then it will help to keep you as though you are a priest, a priestess, a leader in your life, wherever that may be and whatever form that may take in your community. Now, the number one crystal that I choose for the blue full moon, well, I've left it to last. And guess what? I also left it at home, so I don't have one to show you, but it's known as a blue star sapphire. Now, you've probably heard of blue sapphires before, and blue sapphires are very much about commitment. And we've been talking about oaths and commitment and that type of thing. Well, sometimes you get blue star sapphires, or you get a blue sapphire, which has, when a light shines on it, whether it be the sunlight or the moonlight, or just one direct light, you'll see the six-rayed star across the stone and kind of dance across it as it glides. Now, the amazing thing about blue star sapphires is they have that more galactic, magical energy, and so they do bring in a spiritual commitment. So sapphires are renowned for helping to help with our intuition, also understand guidance that we get. So if you have it in dreams or meditations or from a reader or an oracle or something like that, and you're like, what does that mean? Sapphires and blue star sapphires will help. And it also helps us to commit to what's important to us on our soul journey. It also has a bit of a connection to unicorns. Now, unicorns are these blessed, highly ascended horses that, of course, have that horn coming out of their third eye chakra. They have come to learn universal truth and what the truth is about the world, and that would make some great healers as well. So you can actually use blue star sapphires to connect with unicorn energy, which is extremely high and potent around the blue moon as well. So these are 5 of my favorite crystals to work with during the blue full moon. As I said before, it happens when there is 2 moons in a month, or sometimes it can be the second moon in the same zodiac sign, because normally the moons go from zodiac sign to zodiac sign, each different moon. We can use the zodiac signs to work with a different aspect of our lives, and if you've already worked with that one once in that rotation, then you can work with that in the second one as well, or bring in all the different things we've been talking about. So overall, what I love to do on the blue moon is I like to do some manifestation, do some gratitude work, and recommit my pledge or my oath to the universe. And for me, it's really important to make a pledge to Mother Earth and how I'll be of service to her. I'd love to know what you like to do on a blue moon and how you work your crystals into it. The crystals don't have to be blue, but I just like to get into the flavor and the energy of that blue full moon kind of idea. And so there are some really potent blue crystals that I've shared with you today. If you do have some suggestions or some ideas or what you do, let us all learn from the crystal loving community. Leave a comment in the section below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'm Adam Barralet. Blessed be.